So today's video is all about acne for skin of color. The reason being that when we get acne, we pigment, and often the pigmentation affects us more than the acne itself. So this video is all about how to treat pigmentation for skin of color. So here are some results from our clinic. If you like them, please give us a thumbs up. So today we're going to be talking about the myths and the truths when it comes to treating acne. Why do you get it and someone else doesn't get it? How to treat it. And at the end, I'm going to be discussing the biggest mistakes made when it comes to treating acne in skin of color. Because often if you do the wrong thing, it can actually lead to more pigmentation. And ultimately, it's the pigmentation that affects us more than the acne itself. So if that sounds good to you, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, so myth number one is food. Is it the food that you're eating that's leading to acne? It's only a small percentage of the population that get acne based on the food that they're eating. So things like fried food or chocolate, you would avoid if you're in that tiny percentage of the population. For the majority, however, what you eat does not lead to acne. However, having said that, in all cases, if you eat a healthy, varied diet, so things like your fish, your greens, lots of water, your fiber, then it will help with the acne. However, what you eat does not cause acne. Myth number two, it's because you have dirty skin. This obviously is not the case. You can wash your skin twice a day and still have acne. Acne is primarily a hormonal issue because of androgen. Both men and women produce androgen. Women produce androgen from the ovaries and men from the testes. This is what leads to underarm hair, hair in the pubic area, and acne. So let's talk a little bit more about androgen. So what does androgen do? Androgen basically enlarges the sebaceous glands. Those are the oil-producing glands in the skin. And so you start to pump out more sebum. That's the name of the oil. What this does is clogs the pores and you create an anaerobic environment. That's basically an environment with no oxygen. And we have a naturally occurring bacteria called P. acnes. P. acnes loves to replicate in this anaerobic environment, this non-oxygen environment. And so it replicates. What P. acnes then does is it converts sebum into free fatty acids. Free fatty acids are essentially the enemy. They are the things that cause irritation and inflammation. And in skin of color, where our melanocytes are large and easily triggered, those cells become hyperactive and start to spit out more pigment into the cells above it. That pigment comes to the surface and then we start seeing pigmentation. And that is the thing that people get more upset about than the acne itself. So why are some people affected more than others? So some people have follicles that are particularly suffocating, and that means that it's easier to create that anaerobic environment. The other thing that can happen is you can have a strain of P. acnes that basically produces excessive fatty acids. So that's the irritating substance that's leading to the pigmentation. So those are really the two key areas why one person would have it worse than someone else. So if you are finding this content useful, please can you write the word yes in the comments below, just so that I get some feedback. But also if there's other videos you want me to do later, please write them down below too. Okay, so what are the two different types of acne? The two different types are inflammatory and non-inflammatory. Non-inflammatory acne are basically whiteheads and blackheads. Blackheads are open follicles where you can see a pool of oil, the sebum, naturally occurring sebum, that has oxidized. It's not dirt. It's your naturally occurring oil in the skin. A whitehead is a bump on the skin. It's a closed comedone and it doesn't usually scar. These forms of non-inflammatory acne are fine for skin of color. The issue arises with inflammatory acne. So inflammatory acne is when you have pressure building up under the skin. It leads to pain, irritation, and you can actually almost feel the pressure and the lump under the skin. It's a buildup of sebum and of fatty acids, so that's what's irritating you. And if that pore is clogged, it can actually burst open, and that can also lead to scarring. So this is far more traumatic for your skin. So how do you treat it? You want to remove oil from your skincare routine completely. This means that when you wash your face in the morning, your cleanser has no oil in it, no oil in your moisturizer, your sunblock, and when you go on to apply your makeup, make sure again, no oil. Those are really key. You should definitely be washing your face twice a day with benzoyl peroxide and salicylic acid, because what you're doing there is you're killing the bacteria, you are stripping the oil from the skin, and you are unclogging the pores. If you want me to do a review of different products with those ingredients in it specifically for skin of color, please can you write that in the comments below, and I will definitely do that for you. So a big mistake that people with skin of color make when trying to treat acne is scrubbing too harshly. When you scrub aggressively, you are actually leading to micro tears in the skin that can lead to more pigmentation. The way bacteria forms on the skin is that it creates a structure, and it's called a biofilm. This anchors to the skin. If you scrub, you are not only not pulling the bacteria away, you're actually causing more issues, more trauma for the skin. Okay, so you want to obviously avoid picking. We have all been told this, don't pick your skin, it leads to more pigmentation, but it's very satisfying to do, I know. But guess what, mum and dad are right, you do not want to pick that skin, especially if you've got skin of color, because it does lead to more dark marks, which is basically what I get to see in the clinic. So number one, avoid picking. But number two is get really good at your sunblock. Again, I'm sure your parents have told you, wear your sunblock, and you know, you think, oh, I don't need to do that, I'm not old enough, or I've got skin of color. These are all myths. You need to start getting really good at your sunblock. You want a broad spectrum sunblock, which basically covers UVA and UVB, and ideally one without oil. If you want me to do a whole tutorial on which sunblocks I would recommend for oily acne skin, please write that in the comments below and I'll definitely do that for you. The other thing to do is when you do choose your sunblock, look at the percentage of actives. I love physical sunblocks as opposed to chemical sunblocks. So I would definitely recommend you go for something with titanium dioxide or iron oxide, about 20%. And that is going to give you the best coverage that's available on the market at the moment. So for skin of color and treating acne, the number one thing you need to remember is that we cannot afford for our skin to become inflamed. Prevention is always better than cure, meaning if you wear your benzoyl peroxide and your salicylic acid and you only wear it before your period when you know you're going to get acne, that's a mistake. I would wear it the whole month in preparation, because you want to strip the skin of oil, you want to use antibacterials, antimicrobials in order to prevent the acne. Don't wait until you get it. Okay, so when it comes to skin of color and treating your acne, you have to be proactive more than if you had Caucasian skin because of the pigmentation. This means if you know that a certain food is a trigger, avoid it. If you know you get acne after or during your period, you need to be on your benzoyl peroxide and salicylic acid the whole month. Don't wait until you get to your period and then you get the acne and then you treat it. You have to be proactive or you're going to be left with pigmentation. The other important thing is if you've got pustular acne, you are not going to be able to treat this at home. You're going to have to see a dermatologist. They are going to put you on a vitamin A form, whether it's Roaccutane, whether it's another form of vitamin A, in order to increase that cell turnover. They may put you on an antibiotic in order to reduce your P. acnes. Whatever it is, you need to do it early. Don't wait till you've had acne for 5 years and are covered in pigmentation, because that really does affect more your self-esteem and confidence more than the temporary acne. If you want me to do a full video on pigmentation for acne, for skin of color, please write that in the comments below. That is what I specialize in, is pigmentation for skin of color. I've done 25,000 cases. I have a 95% success rate. So it's the thing that I'm very, very passionate about. So please let me know. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you think it'd be helpful for somebody with acne, please do share the content. If you want to learn more about skincare for skin of color, please hit the notification bell and subscribe. And if there's any other content that you want me to make for you, please write it in the comments below. In addition, as a little bonus, I have created a free guide on skincare tips for skin of color, and you can download that. The link again, I'll write in below for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found it useful.